Okay, Peyton, let's see if making this video, if this helps a little bit. Okay, we had y equals x minus 6, and we had x plus 3y equals 6. And we want to figure out the point where they intersect. Okay, for the top one, the top line, and you probably understand this a lot better, look at the negative 6 first, and graph that on the y-axis, because it's the y-intercept. Okay, then look at the number in front of the x, which is the slope. Okay, the number in front of the x is a 1. Okay, think of that 1 as a fraction, 1 over 1. And then think of that as rise 1, run 1. Okay, so from negative 6, you're going to go up 1 over 1. And then you're going to put the dot there. And of course, you're going to be on the deltamath website. Once you click those 2 points, the line will just automatically form. Okay, it's not going to work out very well. But the second equation is what's different for you. So what I'm going to recommend you do is just think of the x and the y as a blank. So for x plus 3y is equal to 6, think of this as some number x plus 3 times something else gives you 6. Okay, I'm going to write that down 3 times. Some number x plus 3 times something else y equals 6. And I just want to get 2 sets of numbers that work, because 2 sets of numbers is going to give me 2 points on the line. So what I do is I would take the x value, label that x and y, x and y. I'm going to replace x with 0 in the first time I wrote it down. And I'm going to replace y with 0 the second time I wrote it down. Now I'm just going to try to figure out what the other number has to be. So look at this first one. Okay, some number, x, we're going to call it 0. So 0 plus 3 times something gives me 6. Okay, well, if that first number is 0, I can ignore it. So just think of this as 3 times some number gives me 6. So it has to be 3 times 2 gives me 6. Okay, does that make sense? In the second equation, I wrote down the same equation again, but I'm replacing y with 0. Well, if the 3 times 0 is sitting there, 3 times 0 is just 0. Okay, so I can ignore it. Now I have x, some number x, must equal 6. Okay, so that number has to be 6, because 6 equals 6. See, in the other one, it was 3 times something gives me 6. That's 2. In the second problem, it ended up being just that number all by itself. So 6 must be equal to 6. Okay, and then what you can do with those 2 sets of numbers, that 0, 2, that's just a point. X is 0, y is 2. The second set of numbers, 6 being x and 0 being y, that's just the second point on the graph. See, these are 2 points on the graph of the second line. So 1 point on that second line is 0.02. So I'm going to find 0 on the x-axis, go up to 2. Put it right there. My other point is 6, 0 for the second line. So I'm going to go over to 6. And I'm not going to go up or down at all. And deltamath is going to give me the second line. And then you just see where the 2 lines intersect. I have no idea if that's really where they cross at. I kind of doubt it, because I'm just doing this freehand. But the trick is, For the second equation, just think of an x and a y that work. Okay, two sets of x, y's that work. The first time you could let x be 0, because that's really easy to do. Find out what y has to be. And then the second time, put 0 in for y and figure out what x has to be to make the statement true. Because what that gives you is 2 points on the graph. Why don't you try this one and then screenshot the next one if you're really baffled about how to do that second part, and maybe it'll go better either by phone or by video. We'll figure this out. But I want to help you with this. You're doing real good work.